my goodness. Welcome everyone. Good evening and welcome to the ICIT 501c3 2020 meet and greet. All political parties are included, Democrats, Republicans, and Libertarians. Tune in to the Right Now TV, channel 99, Comcast, Mondays at 4 p.m. and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Today we are honored to present to you the official candidates running for offices of all political parties. Again, from the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, and the Libertarians. We also would like to acknowledge our underwriters, sponsors, and supporters from the Honorable Superior Court Justice Michael Bergerson, Mr. Wallen Auto 2, Domestic and Foreign Auto Repair, Village Kids, the Arcadia Cafe and Bar, the Buck and Barb's Dance Studio, Ivy Tech Community College, Michigan City, Indiana, Dr. Cora, the LAPORTE County Commissioner, Johnny Stemley, Michigan City Event Coordinator, Hand Up Inc., Claudette Harrison, Captain Ed's Furniture and Showroom, ALCO TV, Access LaPorte County, Curb Appeal Specialist, Walgreens, More Auto Parts, The Wall Gang, Don Presbolinski, Michigan City Councilman at Large, the Members Advantage Credit Union, WIMS, AM Radio 1420, and Applegate and Company, CPA. Again, we want to thank you. We want to thank you all for tuning in, and we welcome you to the ICIT 2020 meet and greet at beautiful downtown Michigan City at the Arcadia Cafe and Bar, 100 Washington Street, with the most spectacular view. In fact, for your next event, if you want to dazzle your organization or your loved ones or your family, feel free to give them a call and book your next event here at the Arcadia Cafe Plus Bar, 100 Washington Street, in beautiful downtown Michigan City, right behind the Besnick Art Center, on the harbor of Lake Michigan's beautiful harbor. And at this juncture, will you all join me? Join us. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Jose Van Smith, and I'm your host for the ICIT Right Now TV show. Again, for those of you who just tuned in, we ask your forbearance during this pandemic that you do wear a mask and exercise social distance. And with that being said, we are socially distanced, so I'll remove my mask. Welcome to the ICIT 2020 meet and greet. Attention all political parties, including the Democrats, Republicans, and Libertarians. Tune in to the Right Now TV show, channel 99, Comcast, Mondays at 4 p.m. and Thursdays at 6 p.m. We'd also like to share our 2020 mission statement. ICIT 501c3 is committed and dedicated to serving Americans with disabilities, senior citizens. We're a charitable, educational, broadcast media. We're community developers, and we're in revitalization. ICIT is advocacy, intervention, referral, fair housing, new construction, employment opportunities, and supportive services. Since 2013, serving as a nonprofit membership-based community developer, our fundamental objective and primary goal is to develop and maintain affordable, green, multi-residential campuses, properties, and sustainable employment opportunities. Our Our official policy position, the top priority, places great emphasis and will remain steadfast to building high-quality, first-class, affordable, low-income, moderate, and high-end housing. Facilities and provisions which will provide a better standard of living with essential project amenities, safety, and security resources and personnel will be on property sites. Tune in to Right Now TV in LaPorte County on Comcast, Channel 95, 4 p.m. Mondays, 6 p.m. Thursdays. Or you can also log into our YouTube channel by Googling www.rightnowtv.org. That's Google www.rightnowtv.org. I want to thank you for your support. Again, my name is Jose Van Smith. I'm the founder and community developer of Indiana Corporate Industries Technology. And at this juncture, we'd like to invite you all to our distinguished guests, the candidates from the Democrat, Republican, and Libertarian parties. Our first candidate on the roster is Mr. Mark Baker. Come right on in.
Thank you. Oh my God, I don't know about that. Appreciate the invite to this meeting group tonight. I am Mark Baker. I'm the Democratic candidate for LaPorte County Coroner. I bring to the office with me over 20 years experience in the coroner's office. The last 12 I have been a chief deputy. I also serve the citizens of Michigan City as a Michigan City firefighter. I hold the rank of captain there. I've also been involved with the public information officer and the fire marshal's office. So I bring a vast amount of professionalism to this office. And that is my goal, to continue the professionalism and the compassion that is needed to serve the people of LaPorte County as your coroner. Okay, we're a little new at this part of the whole thing. Like I said, I bring over 20 years. I served with the judges, prosecuting attorney, police officers, everything, to bring to justice people that have committed crimes, also to give them comfort in the biggest time of their need when their loved one has passed. Okay, we work closely with the field directors also, and we have a vast amount of people with pathologists, other criminal investigators, various other agencies, including insurance agencies that work closely with us in order that everyone is treated fairly. And that is one of my big things also as a coroner, is it's a non-biased investigation. We're not held accountable to the police department. We do answer to those people. We also answer to the prosecuting attorney and everything. We work in conjunction with that. We wholly support the drug task force and all that. Working with the drug task force, working with the prosecutor's office. We do autopsies on every drug case now, which is a really nice thing to make sure we know what these people have died from.
Sir, we do have a question. How long is this your first run for office?
This is my first run for public office. Yes, I've been in the coroner's office, like I said, for over 20 years. I've been the chief deputy, which is an appointed position. Okay, I've been a medical legal death investigator certified through the state of Indiana. And it sounds like an easy, and it sounds like a big title, but it just says on the corner is what it means. I do have continuing education in order to maintain that certification every year that we have to complete. I just encourage everyone to educate themselves on who they're voting for. Get the best candidates out there. We have a whole bunch of candidates out this year. Educate yourself and get out and vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Baker. Mark Baker, Jeremy Smith, Libertarian candidate for the office of LaPorte County
Commissioner District 2.
Commissioner District 2. Mr. Jeremy Smith, welcome to the ICIT 2020 meet and greet.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Smith. I'm a lifelong resident of LaPorte County, and currently I live in Michigan City, or Mill Creek, Indiana. I used to live here in Michigan City. Grew up in 4-H, grew up working on farms, restaurants throughout LaPorte County, and plan to live here the rest of my life. I work in construction and development now. Volunteer with 4-H exclusively and extensively, and do my best to keep kids involved and getting involved with their community. The 4-H program is a great leadership opportunity, and I'm doing this primarily to show them where you can end up with the leadership opportunities. Available if anybody has any questions.
So, you just, excuse me.
Yeah.
Where else did you go? Do you do 4-H in the city?
Yeah, we're actually trying to get it into Michigan City. For some reason, we can't seem to get into.
Why?
I don't know. It always seems like it's people from the country coming into the city and telling the city what they need.
But you said you're involved with the kids. You go to the communities to get the kids, to let them see what 4-H is about.
We do. So I'm actually project coordinator for the outdoor sports program. We do fishing, shooting.
Do you go to the communities other than outside of Michigan City?
No.
You come into Michigan City to show the kids. You know where I'm getting at.
Right.
You show the kids what fishing and hunting and all that's about.
We have several members from Michigan City, but we can't. They don't really let us come into the schools anymore. So that's kind of the problem. We're trying to partner with people to get the programs out there more.
Because there are a lot of kids who are fascinated about things that they see on TV about fishing and hunting.
Exactly.
But they just don't have the opportunity to do that.
Right, and we're trying. We want to bring more people in and get Michigan City more involved, because Michigan City doesn't have a lot of programs like that for the kids that get them out and involved.
Because actually, I know a group of kids. I know a group of kids who hunt and fish, doing exactly what you're talking about, and they'll need someone like you to come around to be enthusiastic, make them enthusiastic about what they're doing.
I definitely want to talk to them and get them out there and teach them, how to utilize the lake and, and get out and be responsible when they're hunting and fishing.
Yes.
So yeah, you and I are definitely going to talk a little bit more.
I don't hunt or fish either of that. I go to Jules.
Well, we can bring you over to that.
All right,
so.
Jeremy is the candidate for LaPorte County District 2 Commissioner. We wish him the best going forward. And we want to thank you also for your support with the important 4-H Club. Our next official candidate is Mr. Earl Cunningham, County Council. Are you representing which party, sir? Republican Party. Representing the Republican Party, the GOP, in the House. Come on in, Mr. Cunningham.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the ICIT 2020 Meet Week. Yes.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the invite. It's a pleasure to come down and see some people that I know. And I previously served 8 years on the County Council, finishing in 2014. This is a different seat. I'm running at large, which is the county-wide. LaPorte County, for those of you that don't know, is 608 square miles. It's a big county, the second largest in the state of Indiana. So there are about 1,200 miles of just county roads for the county road department to take care of. I served during a difficult time in 2008 and 2009 because of the economy. We had some real tough struggles. And I foresee that same thing happening now because of the global crisis that we have with COVID. So I anticipate some difficult economic times. I think my experience with the finances, fiscal conservative that I am, will be very beneficial in that regard. My history, I spent 33 years with the Michigan City area schools. I was a teacher coach, and I finished my career last 7 years as a truant officer, working with the police officers and courts, along with parents and children to keep them in school. My biggest thing I can say for particularly people in this audience, would be, goes all the way back to my first year teaching in 1969-70. I hate to tell you how old I am, but before I was even actually involved in coaching, my first recruit was a guy by the name of Benny Edwards.
Yes, yes.
And I drove Benny Edwards 5 hours in a Volkswagen down to visit a college. He ended up signing there. He had a great career there. They actually hired him. He was on their staff for about 7 years. And I made it a goal from that point on to help as many males and females to get to college. Not all of them were athletes for me. Some of them were just kids that needed help, needed a little boost. And I tell the story frequently about a young man that was a football player. His parents moved to Tennessee about a week before the football season started. Nobody knew that. He basically was just hanging around, staying with his buddies for a place to live. When the football season ended, he was kind of a little less well taken care of, and I called him aside one day after class, and he lets me know he's homeless. He's been sleeping in his car. Now, he didn't play for me, but he was one of my students. I said, well, we'll work that out. And I took him down to meet the night custodian. I said, this guy's in a real jam. He wants to stay here and go to school. And we found him a place to stay in the gymnasium, which was my coach's office at the time. There was a laundromat at the other end. He had a shower, the whole works. He literally lived in the gymnasium for the rest of the school year and worked with the night custodian an hour every night. And that kid ended up going down to IU in the groups program, is now teaching, working with kids just like himself. And that was my goal, was to help young people just like that. I think I've continued to do that, and that's why most people in Michigan City pretty well know me. Thank you very much.
As a student of yours, you are a great teacher, man.
I appreciate that very much.
As a student of yours, and what he's saying is definitely the truth.
I appreciate
He's always a great guy.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for your time.
County
Council.
County Council
at large.
Yes, sir. Are you currently in office, sir?
No, sir. I am not in the office.
Okay. So this be your first run?
No, I was on the County Council for 2 terms from 7 to 14. I served 8 years, and then I've been out of office for the last 6. So I'm coming out of retirement, offering my services again.
Bless your heart. But we wish you the best, sir. We need more people like you in public service.
Thank you, sir.
Man of integrity. Our next guest, the official candidate is a Republican, Jamie Oz, Superior Court 1 candidate. Come right on in, Mrs. Oz.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting us. Appreciate it. Thank you to Jason for letting us be in this wonderful space here at Arcadia Cafe. I'm Jamie Oz. I'm running for Judge of the Court Superior Court number 1. I've been in the legal profession for the last 17 years. I work in a small firm here. Well, we were here in Michigan City for 25 years. And we now are 4 years ago moved to LAPORTE on Johnson Road. So I'm the managing partner there. I do mainly civil litigation, insurance defense work, and I do litigation all over the northern half of the state. I also am involved in several legal organizations. The Indiana State Bar Association, I'm involved in the litigation section, the ethics committee. I was the chair of the litigation section last year. I received their civility award, and I was the president of the LaPorte County Bar Association in 2013 and 2015. I've also been the president of the Underwriters Association, and so that's kind of been my service in the legal community. Last year I was appointed to the Indiana Innovation Initiative by the Indiana Supreme Court, and that organization is a working group within the Supreme Court that has been tasked with basically figuring out how to reform justice, criminal justice reform, civil justice reform, and to give recommendations to the Supreme Court on how to make the justice system better, and to elevate and move forward the rule of law. I have 3 children. I've been married for almost 20 years. I was born and raised in LaPorte County.
What's their names?
My oldest is Drew. He's 14 and he's playing in his first varsity football game tonight, so he's very excited.
who's the better half, the lucky guy?
My husband is Tony. I think you've talked to him a few times. He's my campaign manager, and so I really just want to thank him. I want to thank all the voters that have already voted. There's, I think, close to 25,000, I think we're at, which is amazing. And I appreciate all the support that I've received from the community. And I just want to ask for your vote. I have the passion and the strength and the commitment to do this job. And I'm excited to see what happens. So.
And again, you are running for what office?
For Judge of the Court, Superior Court #1.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Jamie Oz is the candidate for Superior Court 1. She's been extensively involved in law, president of various legal departments. And again, we are, you know, we are representing the Republican Party. And we are delighted that she took time to come by to the ICIT 2020 meet and greet. Again, my name is Jay Van Smith. I'm your host. For those of you who just tuned in, you're watching the ICIT Right Now TV 2020 meet and greet. You can tune in to Right Now Television Channel 99 on Comcast, Mondays at 4 p.m. and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Again, we'd like to acknowledge our underwriters and our supporters who have made it possible for us to bring you this broadcast from Walnut Auto to Domestic and Foreign Automobiles, Village Kids, Arcadia Cafe and Bar, Judge Michael Bergerson, Superior Court 1, the Buck and Barbs Dance Studio, Ivy Tech, Michigan City Community College, Dr. Cora, County Commissioner, Johnny Stimley, Michigan City Events Coordinator, A Hand Up Inc., Captain Ed's Furniture Showroom, ALCO Television, ICIT 501c3, Curb Appeal Specialist, CBS, more auto parts, Wall Gang, gone but not forgotten. Don Prespolinski, Michigan City Councilman at Large, the Members Advantage Credit Union, WILS, Radio 1420, Applegate and Company CPA. Again, we'd like to say, and also Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Again, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in to the ICIT 2020 meet and greet. And with that being said, as we continue our program, we'd like to introduce our next distinguished guest, the Honorable Judge Michael Bergerson. Michael Bergerson is the Honorable Judge of Superior Court 1. Welcome to the ICIT 2020 meet and greet, Your Honor.
Thank you so much, Reverend Smith. I appreciate your efforts in getting out the candidates today and encouraging people to vote. It's a very important election. The stakes are extremely high this year. Again, for those who don't know me, my name is Michael Bergerson. Born and raised here in Michigan City in LaPorte County. High school here, came back from college, law school, came back from law school in Michigan City, LaPorte County area. Served as an intern in the prosecutor's office under John Daly, and then after graduating from law school, practicing law, became a deputy prosecuting attorney, and 30 years later, after prosecuting cases in every court in this county, became the judge, was elected judge 6 years ago for LaPorte Superior Court #1. I had been the senior deputy in the prosecuting attorney's office for 16 years prior to that, primarily serving in Superior Court #1, which handles the most serious cases in our county, the murders, the child molesters, the domestic abuse cases, high drug offenses, you name it. That's what I've handled in my career as a deputy prosecuting attorney. But I've also had a civil practice throughout all that time. I was a partner in the law and many others in the community here on civil liberties. So I had experience in adoptions. I represented the Catholic Family Services for all of their adoptions in this area. I represented the Michigan City area baseball team when they were first organized and served on their board. I organized LaPorte County Young People's Home Theater, which is still in existence, and so there was many community involvement projects that I was involved in. But most important to me was raising a family here in Michigan City. I have beautiful children, married now as well. And LaPorte County has been great for my family, and the experience of being a judge is just truly an honor. It's a very humbling experience that you would have honored me with that, really that office, because it's what I've been trained for my entire career. Having been that prosecutor, having been civil practice, tried civil cases as well as criminal cases, of course. Now I've had this opportunity to serve as judge for 6 years. Again, handling murders, handling robberies, handling child molesting cases. And so many are so serious that the stakes are so high, and I believe that I'm the right person to look at the qualifications for this job. And I see someone's got a question.
It's not a question, it's a story.
Okay.
Berger.
Yes, sir.
You remember when you owned B&K Restaurant?
I do.
The kids on the west side didn't have any money to eat a hot dog or a root beer, and Berger gave it to them.
Yes, I did. You know what? I love the west side. I mean, that was my summer job in high school and college.
Right.
My brother Marty and I ran and operated the west side of B&K. It was a great way to meet.
And you took care of us, Berger.
I love the people that on the west side of Michigan City here. Kerwin, you were one of the best kids in the neighborhood. And I see, as a matter of fact, so many of those now adults remember that. They do remember that and appreciate the fact that if they didn't have a nickel, they didn't have a dime,
Berger gave it to them.
You got the root beer, the hot dog anyway. And because it was important for me to know that you're gonna,
Yeah, Berger, you bet us, Berger.
you were able to hang out, I was able to get to know you and who you were, who your parents were, and the kids that hung out on the west side. It was really great. I love that experience, and thank you for bringing that up. And it just reminds me of the commitment and the longevity that our family has had here in Michigan City and LaPorte County. It's quite fantastic because I see a lot of people now, whether it's in the grocery store or at the convenience store, and I'm a judge in a court where lots of people need second chances. And I'm a person who likes to, make sure that we get people back on the right track. They're not all robbers, they're not all rapists, they're not all murderers. Of course, we have people who have gotten off on the wrong track. And so, my job as a judge is to try to get them back on the right track. We're in the business of saving lives, and so with respect to people who have been charged with drug offenses, we try to get them back. We get people help, we get treatment, we got tremendous resources in this county. And so when I go into a grocery store, if I see someone at a convenience store, invariably someone comes up to me, and I can't believe it, they say, you know what, you were hard on me, but you saved my life. You saved my life for people in our community for mental health. We were able to solve that, and to our credit, I got to take some credit at least, because I convened this meeting. And saved this county $100,000 of just transportation costs alone. Not to mention the fact that if they weren't able to go someplace else, they'd be out on the street. And the problems that come from mental health are pervasive among every economic, every racial group. Unfortunately, we live in chaotic times, and as we get closer to this election, we know how chaotic it is and how stressful it is in people's lives. It's so important for people to get out.
What's the pandemic put a lot of stress on everyone?
There are so many stresses, whether it's economic. Some people are on medication, they decide they're not going to take their medication. But that's part of the job of a judge. I'm available 24/7. about reconditioning and refurbishing the hospital here that's on Wabash Street, that they're going to refurbish and provide more space for mental health and hopefully more space for substance abuse. For me, that's a priority. I've begun those discussions with them. Hopefully they'll be fruitful in the future. But I'm positive about it, and that's one of the things. I got to be positive in this job because I see so much misery. I look at the adoptions, I look at the guardianships, I look at the expungements, because I do a lot of expungements as well, where I can give that guy a second chance who served his time, who stayed out of trouble. This week I did an expungement. Yes, sir.
Do felons get the vote in Indiana?
After they've served, if they're no longer on probation, yes.
And again, the day
I don't want to take up all your time, sir. I can talk all day.
Today we have
Thanks, Earl. I appreciate it. I love this job. You got to remember, Earl, you got to remember, I love this job, and I love this community. And when you love a job and you love the community as much as I do, you want to give back. This is my opportunity, honestly, for another 6 years to be able to give back and be the judge in this court. The stakes are so high. I believe I'm the right person. I hope I have earned your vote and your trust. It's a humbling and I feel so grateful to be here tonight. Thank you so much.
I like Mike.
I like Mike. Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Back to the ICIT 501c3 Right Now TV, channel 99, 2020 meet and greet. Again, party candidates included the Democrats, Republicans, and Libertarians. Tune in to Right Now TV, channel 99, Comcast, Mondays at 4 p.m. and Thursdays at 6. I'm honored to have Mr. Joe Haney. Joe Haney is running for County Commissioner for District 3. Mr. Haney, welcome to the ICIT 2020 meet and greet.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for putting this on. This is a great event. I really appreciate you having me here. As you said, my name is Joe Haney, and I'm running for LaPorte County Commission. I decided to run not just because my family and friends and neighbors wanted me to run, but because of what I've seen in this county over the past several years. Things are not right here in this county, and we've got to fix them. And I think together we can give the county back to the people. We've seen undocumented influence in this county. We've seen a bizarre amount of just strange deals. A county home. Since 1886, this building has stood as a symbol for the community, hope, and now the old Bruce Salmon home, it's gone. It was sold for $50,000, along with 5.5 acres of land real estate right on State Road 2. It's some bizarre thing that happened. This latest thing where they tried to overpay for over $25,000 for the property was listed. We have to fix things in this county, and together I know we can. Moving forward, I want to improve openness and transparency. I want to make sure that are people scared to work for the county to put a yard sign in their yard for a different political party. I want to see openness, the transparency, and I want to make sure that everyone feels like they can speak their mind without fear of retribution. So, I live right here in LaPorte County. I live just outside of Core Village with my wife and my 3 daughters. We live here full time. We don't have a second home. We reside here full time, and I will work for you and fight for you to make sure we get LaPorte County back on track and make sure we get. So my background as a clinical operations manager, I worked in the surgical suites for many years. I was operations manager of the Water Transfusion Services. I worked at the University of Chicago Medical Center where we developed policies and procedures that have been used and implemented across the Midwest and the nation. Worked with the Level 1 Trauma Team at Christ Hospital as well. And what we've seen with the COVID pandemic and the responses, the COVID virus itself is a serious virus. But as it's moved forward, we can treat it serious. We can treat it with the seriousness it deserves, as well as make sure that we protect the most vulnerable in our communities, such as nursing homes and the elderly. But we don't need to do a total lockdown on the state for those people who aren't the most vulnerable. While currently right now we're seeing a massive uptick in spread cases, but at the same time, we're seeing a massive drop. Mortality rates are down 70%. As the virus spreads, mortality rates continue to drop. The good thing we're seeing in there is most like those viruses, they devolve, they don't evolve. So while the spread is becoming more spread, the mortality rate continues to drop, the total death numbers are continuing to drop, and that's a fantastic thing. So we need someone who understands these things and can balance both protecting the most vulnerable and making sure that small businesses and communities that have been hard hit and everyone is out of the job right now, we can get them back to work and we can protect those businesses at the same time.
So what's your stance, what is your position as the potential, if you become the next county commissioner, how do you, I mean, what is your views on economic development? And your approach to attracting new or expanding business, to LaPorte County.
Sure. So the important thing is you have to have both sides of it. You want to create an environment that's conducive to bringing businesses into the county, but you also want to reward businesses that are here to continue to stay here and to expand. At the same time, you have to balance these things with not just the businesses that live here, but the citizens. When you provide tax abatements to new businesses coming in, you have to realize that the rest of the taxpayers that are already here in this county have to make up that difference. It's not just you can just give away stuff for free and then there it is. You have to understand that you're taking away from the people who are here. So you have to strike that balance and understand the difference and make sure that just to get new companies in, prior to elections, let's say, you're not giving away the store, so to speak.
And again, as the county commissioner, how do you? What is your? What do you have a final thought that you'd like to leave you and the audience with regards to the 2020 election?
This is going to be a very contentious election. We've seen a number of issues already, and my hope is that we have as many people can turn out to vote as possible, regardless of who you're voting for. If you know who you want to vote for, get out there and vote. It's very important, and also hopefully we wind up having a good, peaceful outcome after this. That's what I really want to see. Is that regardless of how any of this stuff turns out, we have a peaceful resolution to what's going on now. The tensions are so high, and part of it is from some of the extra lockdowns that we've seen. When people are out of work, when people are forced to sit home, they're not interacting, they're not socializing like they were. It creates a state of mental depression. That's something that really hasn't been addressed either in the county or in the state properly, in my opinion. The increase in drug abuse, alcohol abuse, spousal abuse, child abuse, these are things that are being pushed over the side for fear of the virus. And that's part of being a total package to address what's going on, making sure we protect the most vulnerable, but realizing those who aren't as vulnerable need to have an interaction, having kids in school in some form or another, so that the vulnerable ones can be seen by teachers and other students, and they make sure that things are going right. They're getting people to work so that if there is a spousal abuse situation, when that person goes into work, their coworkers can see them and try and find things. So what we've done is we've removed those support structures. And I think a lot of the unrest that we're seeing is part of that. It's everybody's screwed up and pent up, and we need to get back to the community. That's a big thing. The community needs to come back together.
So as your final appeal, why should we elect Joe Haney?
I am going to restore accountability and transparency in the county. I'm going to lead the county. I'm not going to take a second seat or second chair to anyone else. And we will drive forward and make sure that we are representing the best interests of the people and citizens of LaPorte County.
There you go. There you have it. Again, we are delighted to have Mr. Joe Haney.
Thank you.
Joe Haney County is the Republican candidate for county commissioner for District 3.
District 3.
Mr. Haney, we thank you for attending our ICIT 2020 meet and greet, and we wish you continued success going forward.
Thank you. This
is the people of broadcast media, and anytime you want to come on the air and toot your horn, feel free to give me a call.
I'd be happy to. Thank you.
I'm delighted. Joe Haney.
Thank you.
County Commissioner, District 3.
And it's a county-wide, well, I have to live in District 3 to run District 3, everyone in the county can vote for me. So regardless if you live in the county, I will be on your ballot.
As we bring this program to this broadcast to a close, I'd like to bring in ask our candidates if they would have a final make their final pitch going forward.
Well, thank you to the ICIT for inviting us here tonight and everything. This was a great organization to come and talk to tonight. Again, I'm Mark Baker. I'm the Democratic candidate for coroner. I believe that I am the best candidate for this position. I have over 20 years of experience and everything. I invite all the people that haven't voted to look up their candidates. Make sure you know who you're voting for and make sure you vote for the best. Those that have voted, I thank you very much for taking the time to vote in this world that we live in today. Again, I'm Mark Baker. I'm the Democratic candidate for coroner. County coroner.
He's been serving in his office
since 1999.
Wow, that's experience. And in this business, experience is the best teacher. We want to thank Mr. Baker. Going forward, we wish you the best.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Jeremy Smith. Mr. Smith is running for
County Commissioner, District 2.
County Commissioner, District 2. Mr. Smith, give us your closing statement.
Thanks for having me come out. I appreciate any exposure I can get. Definitely look into your candidates. Google Vote 411. League of Women Voters did an excellent candidate forum. You can see the candidates talk, see what they represent. If you're not sure who's on your ballot, look at Indiana Voters. Google it all and it show you who's on your ballot so you know when you go who you can vote for. Thank you for the opportunity. Hope everybody votes for me and gives me the chance to work in North County. Thank you very much.
It's Mr. Earl Cunningham. Mr. Cunningham is running for county council. Mr. Cunningham has been on the front line and has been a pillar of our community and forever. And he's highly respected, a man of integrity, and very much loved in LaPorte County. Mr. Earl Cunningham.
I want to thank Brother Smith and all his people helping out here this evening, and it was a very nice opportunity for those of us. It's hard to get out during the COVID situation, so everybody did a nice job getting this together. I've already served 2 terms on the county council, so I feel I'm as experienced as anybody that's running. And I've been through the tough times in 2008 and 2009, as I said before. So now I just want to take the opportunity to encourage everybody that hasn't already voted. I think there's about 25,000 people that have voted, which is great. But that means there's another 20,000 that haven't. And those 20,000 need to get out and vote either tomorrow on Saturday or on Monday until noon, or they should vote on Tuesday. And this might not play until Monday afternoon, so then it would be give you a Tuesday only. Everybody exercise your constitutional right to vote. I have a simple theory. If you don't vote, you shouldn't complain. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Thank you, Brother Smith.
Mr. Cunningham. Thank you, sir. Haney. Mr. Haney is Republican running for the county commissioner. County Commissioner for District 3. Mr. Haney, give us with your closing thoughts. Your final view. Sure.
Thank you for having us. This is a great venue. It's warm to be in, and the facilities here are amazing. I've been in here since it used to be swing doubles. So really nice here. If you haven't been in here, check it out.
I'm glad you're here.
So my appeal to you would be we need to get the county back on track. We need to have transparency back in the county, and we need to make sure that the decisions are being made by people who are capable and confident to make decisions and not take a second seat to anyone else. They need to have a faith and trust and belief in the people of LaPorte County and in themselves. Everything that I've talked about, the issues that I've had in relation to dealing with things like the county home, the grocery, these other issues, visit joe4laporte.com, so JOE4laporte.com, and you can find out more about me. You can find all the documentation for the things that I've said, the facts that I've laid out in various positions. You can find all those documented, the dates, the county filings, the paperwork, everything else, so that you can see that I'm not mistaken on the claims that I make. What I'm saying is factual and actual and true. I appreciate your support on November 3rd, and together we can give LaPorte County back to the people where it belongs.
Reverend Smith, thank you for inviting me here to the Arcadia restaurant here for your meet and greet candidates night. My name is Michael Bergerson. I am privileged and honored to be the judge in the Court Superior Court number 1. To tell you why I think I'm the best person for this job. Again, I would hope that you would be able to get out and vote if you haven't already. It's such an important right that we have to exercise, and I just encourage you to do that. Investigate the candidates, do some study, and then pick the right person who you think is going to be the best person for this job. It's a tough job. I've been doing it for 6 years, and I love it, and I love this community.
And you've been serving the community forever.
Absolutely.
Thank you so very much for having me today. I really appreciate it. Please, 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 if you haven't voted already, get out and vote. Make your vote count. You know, your constitutional constitutional right to vote is very, very important. And we look forward to seeing how it all comes out. Thank you.
And we'd like to thank Mr. Joshua Williams, the production assistant, actually the executive producer of KD Television, for bringing you this presentation. We also would like to thank him for providing us for taking the time to assist us with our ICIT 2020 Senior Master, the executive producer of KD Television, Joshua Williams.
Good, man. Thanks for the introduction, Smith, man. You always do a good event. It's always a blessing to be out here amongst great people that's trying to do things for the community, which we call pillars. You know who I am, Joshua Williams. I'm a producer, director of Power Records, which is going your own way. Also the CEO of Taking Photos, Photography, and then I do the videography under Key Television, which is Kids Entertainment Television, keep it entertaining, keep it intelligent. Like I said, it's just a delight, man. Anybody need any kind of photography or anything like that, you know, I'm out here getting it in. Getting social media under Joshua Williams, pretty much. And just connect with me. I'll do you right. But once again, it's not about me, it's about the candidates, it's about the election, it's about what's going on in life right now. If you didn't get out right now. Go vote. Like they say, make your decision wisely, you know. Get to know the person who you're voting for, study the competitor, and see who's the best candidate, man. And you may think that your vote don't count, but man, there's a power in numbers, man. So we need to get out to these polls, you know what I'm saying, bring more numbers, and then we'll talk about what happens after. Y'all just have a beautiful day, man. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for tuning into the ICIT 2020 meet and greet. We strongly urge you all, get out and vote. Exercise your constitutional right to make a difference, to be heard. Because this is the one time when you make the call. So again, we thank all of our candidates for attending our 2020 meet and greet. And we strongly urge you, if you've got the carpool, whatever, take time to go and vote. It makes all the difference in the world. Thank you all for attending our 2020 meet and greet, and we wish you all the very best in life.